Hi, here with Josh Stabler, the Hog Saddle guy. So, the name of the company is actually Shadowtech, LLC, but many of you may be familiar with the products that both Ed and I use here, which is the Hog and Pig Saddle. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm a former Scout Sniper. I was in 04 to 08, and while I was in, I invented the Hog Saddle design. And when I got out, I refined it and basically turned it into a commercial and military product. It's now standard issue in the Marine Corps and other SOCOM units and law enforcement. But it's also has grown a really huge following with hunters and disabled shooters and even child hunters. Because a lot of people consider this a safety device because it maintains control of a loaded weapon while you're shooting off of an elevated platform. Essentially, it's got a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 inch threaded hole, so it's designed to attach itself to any type of camera tripod, whether any type of ball head, or if you don't want to use the ball head, you can mount it straight to the tripod by itself. This is the Hog Saddle, kind of the military grade model. It's CNC machined out of aluminum, weighs 15.5 ounces, super rugged, retails for $309. The biggest criticism we got about the Hog Saddle was it worked great, it's lightweight, everything's awesome, can't break it, kind of pricey, right? So about a year and a half ago, we came out with the Pig Saddle. It's a third the cost, retails $135, made out of stamped sheet metal, kind of like the AK-47 version of the machined Hog Saddle. And it works amazing. And stability-wise, I get this. People ask this question a lot. Really, shooting anywhere out to 600 yards, you really can't tell stability-wise between the two. Once you start pushing out past 600, you start giving the edge to the Hog Saddle. And when it comes to long-range shooting, those tiny edges, they add up. So it's something to consider if you want to buy either one of them. Okay. Something new for 2016, besides the new OD green color anodized color for the Hog Saddle, real popular. Our original Hog Saddles back in the day were all OD green, so we're bringing that back, kind of our heritage. The new thing it's coming out with is the new aluminum knob accessory for the Pig Saddle. The knob that comes with the Pig Saddle now is a reinforced polymer, super durable, super strong. Hypothetically, if you beat on it hard enough or you give it to a Marine or something, it could break, possibly. And lifetime warranty, we replace it if it does. Only like a handful have ever broken. But just in case, to make people give them the warm and fuzzy, we came out with the CNC machined aluminum knob, anodized the same OD green color as our Hogs. They're going to retail for $20. So for $20, you're kind of getting body armor for your Pig Saddle. And for a lot of guys who are using them in law enforcement or a lot of the PRS competitors who are just freaking brutal on their gear, for $20 you can get a little bit of an insurance policy and you don't have to send me an email to get a new knob. So we're really excited about this. And besides that, we've got the SS Loophole Sling. It's about a year old. Real popular. A lot of military and law enforcement agencies are using them. But PRS guys are too, and I can run you through a quick Sling Demo too, if you'd like, just so you can kind of see the different techniques and stuff. Because that probably, besides the question of the differences between the Hog and the Pig, it's like, hey, I hear you guys are able to use a sling to help stabilize off of barricades or shoot off tripods. What are they? So if you like, I can do that.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and do a quick demo of that?
Okay. So right here we've got the SS Loophole Sling. It's essentially a 2-point rifle sling. It adjusts just like a VTAC. We've got a ITW buckle in the middle, right? So you can break away from the sling if you need to. And the thing that makes this sling different than all others is we sewed a loop at the rear. And this thing's been around for a couple years, but more and more people asked for it, so last year we decided to come out with it officially. But that's basically, in a nutshell, what it is. It retails for $39. No other precision rifle sling is at that price point. And we also intentionally left out the standard arm loop that you'll see on a lot of precision rifle slings, because in reality, you're not going to use it. It's really cool if you're at the range and seeing what you can do with the sling. It is a great tool, but for those snapshots, whether it's an animal or a self-defense situation, for a sniper, you're not going to sling up. you're not. So there's three main sling techniques that guys use, right? The first one for a tripod, it's the old school candy cane technique, where you'll detach the sling from the rear of the rifle, and you'll wrap it underneath the tripod, and then basically candy cane it around one of the legs, just like that. And if I put my hand over the candy cane that I just made and torque it down, I'm eating up the slop that's in my ball head, right? So before I candy cane it up, I got a little bit of freaking slop and wobble in my ball head. Or if I candy cane it and torque it, I eat up that slop. And then when I get behind the gun, I don't have that wobbly, floaty reticle. Works really well. This was really the only sling technique that really existed back in like 2004 when guys were doing a lot of urban fighting in Iraq and stuff. But since then, there's been a couple other sling techniques super popular. The one I really like is the one that incorporates this loop on the rear of the sling. It's designed so I can wrap the sling underneath the tripod again, so I can pull the rifle straight down, and I can clip it into a carabiner on my belt. You can use a fancy metal one, or you can even use those $3 ITW carabiners. It really doesn't matter, but you click it into your belt right here. And how it works is when I move my hips back, when I get behind the gun, it's pulling the weapon down. It's eating up that slop, right, that's with my ball head. And it allows me better stability and faster follow-up shots. At 900 yards, shooting a 300 Win Mag, as long as you got a decent rifle and a decent tripod, and the person behind it fairly knows what he's doing, you'll be able to spot your rounds. So it's a huge asset. And what's really great is you can sit here with binos, scan everything, and then when you're ready to take your shot, you just melt your hips back into your gun. If you need to transition, you can do that. You can freaking move and scoot to another location, and when you're ready to fire, you melt your hips back, and get that reticle on target. Works real well if you get spooked or you just feel uncomfortable being attached to your rifle. This is a 16-pound anchor. I got the ITW buckle in the middle. I can break away from my tripod just so I don't feel vulnerable. The third sling technique that's very popular, I call it the Wojcik technique. Kalen Wojcik runs the Magpul precision course and everything for them. He's a bullet wizard. The guy's really good. He taught me this technique, so I named it after him because I ain't stealing nothing from him. But basically, you keep the sling attached to the rear of the stock, unlike the other two methods, and you're basically using your 2-point sling to wrap around the back of your tricep, really as high as you can get it. And what it's doing is once you get behind your gun, you can use the 2-point section to tighten it up a little bit. When you're behind your gun, what it's doing is it's stabilizing your floating elbow here, and you get a lot more steady of a reticle. And same thing for follow-up shots and everything else. The beauty about this technique is if I got to get out of my position real quick, whether you're a competitor or a hunter or whatever, you just got to move your arm out, and you're not tied up. Unlike slinging up with your arm, like traditionally or whatever. But those are the three main sling techniques that I think for a lot of competitors, it's something you should try. The last thing I can think of is for the Carabiner technique. Not just for, it's not used just for shooting off tripods. If you're banging barricades, basically, imagine there's no tripod here, but you can clip in and drop your freaking bipods, and when you freaking jam your bipod legs into that barricade, you move your hips back, right? And it's another way to stabilize your shots. And since it's attached to your belt, you can scoot and move. You can run and hit several stages of barricades without having to readjust anything. And if it's like a kneeling to a standing, same thing. You've got your adjustable 2-point sling. You just adjust it to your body, wiggle your hips back, and it just pulls the weapon straight down. It's a really fun technique. And with a little bit of practice, I think you guys would really like it. It's fun to play around with. So.
Well, Josh, we really want to thank you for taking the time to demonstrate those different techniques. I'm sure our viewers will definitely find that very interesting, and it gives us something to practice.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by.
Well, best of luck for SHOT Show and this year.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.
Yeah.